Kör där du. Okej. Hej allihop. Nu kör vi. Nu är det dags. Jag ser att ni har jättetrevligt. Det är nästan lite tråkigt att bryta in här i era diskussioner och era samtal. Men i alla fall så är det ju Elithotell och Think Tank som står bakom det här Tretårsfika. Och då kanske ni undrar lite grann, vad är Think Tank? Och det är egentligen ett ekosystem av företag där man tillsammans, eller där Think Tank vill att man tillsammans ska växa och utvecklas. Ekosystemet det hålls ihop egentligen med de här Tretårsfika och med inspirerande dagar, inspirationsdagar som vi säger. Och även med det digitala systemet Votion, där vi kan hålla ihop hela Think Tank. Och för att tillsammans då bilda Think Tank med det systemet. Och såklart så vill ju vi att ni ska hänga med, både ni som är på webben och ni som är här, att bli med i Think Tank. Och varför vill vi bli det då? Jo, vi vill ju att ni ska växa tillsammans. Vi vill företag att de ska växa tillsammans. Vi vill att vi tillsammans ska hjälpa andra att växa tillsammans. Och att vi ska utveckla nya tankar och idéer. Och det är vad vi gör i Votion tillsammans med Think Tank och våra partner. Och med det så skulle jag vilja bjuda fram Ashok. Nu ska jag prova på att prata engelska. Ashok Samal is an advisor, IT strategist, engaging public speaker and currently working as a solution architect at Microsoft, Western Europe, with deep focus on the AI and innovation. His vast international experience includes solid years of big data and across. His international experience includes 8 solid years in big data and AI across Asia, Europe, and US. And Ashok, you have a strong business and a very strong technical combo.
Thanks.
Yeah, and we are very, very happy to have you here, Ashok. Very happy. So, and I applaud for Ashok.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming here and we are doing this. I really appreciate your time. So, you know already I'm from Microsoft, involved in big data and AI, and I'm based out of Stockholm, right? And a part of Microsoft Western Europe. So I'll not spend time on introduction, so I'll jump to the discussion today. Right? So before I start, how many of you has involved in AI some of the other way? Okay, a couple of you, good. And how many of you have failed? You need guts to say that, right? Yeah, of course, you guys have. Right, so it's been 4 or 5 years I'm doing this. And what I understand is everybody talk about AI. You go to a motor company, they're talking about self-driving. You go to medicine industry, they're talking about predicting cancers. You go to any industry, they are talking some of the other form of AI, right? But do you know, almost 70% of the projects never come to life? So what's the risk here? The businessmen invest money, the technical guys spend their time, you learn new technology to do stuff, but at the end, you have nothing. 6 months, 1 year later, you realize you have nothing. Is this a good thing? Yes. So you get experience out of it? Yeah. Right? So experience of failure is a powerful thing, right? So out of this failure, we have learned a lot, right? What we have learned is how not to drive an AI project, right? So people talk a lot about AI things and gonna do blah blah stuff and everything, but today I'm gonna talk to you about how not to drive AI project, right? So what are the precautions you're gonna take before jumping into the AI engagements and what should you do and what should not you do, right? So I have top 5 points to talk, right? Why an AI project fails and how can you avoid it. Ready for this? Perfect. So the number 1, most of the business leader start an AI project because they think it is cool, right? So I can make something dance on the computer screen or have a game that I can show it to my friends, and AI is cool. I can detect some face and probably it will come up with some business case and it's a cool case. Honestly, cool doesn't pay off. You can show it to a couple of your friends, families, or business partners, but it doesn't pay off, right? So if you were starting your AI project because it is cool, you're never going to earn money out of it. So this is how you fail, but how you kind of overcome it. So when you jump to an AI project, 2 things is very important to understand. The first one is understanding emotion. Second one is understanding ROI, return on investment, right? So if you have not done these 2 things before jumping to an AI project, you're going to fail massively. So what do I mean by emotion? So emotion is something that will drive you. For an example, if I launch this automotive car, I can get 20% market share and can drive down this Chinese technology out of my market, and I have a bigger market share. So that's the emotion you are driving, right? And what the ROI you are doing? The ROI is new market share, new customer acquisition, right? So these are the analysis. I will not go deep into it. But if you have not done an emotional analysis with your business, and if you have not done your ROI calculation, you should not jump into it, right? So ROI can implies with respect to money or with respect to market share. You can have only 4 or 5 options. 1, either it's a new revenue stream that you're going to generate, or revenue leakage that you're going to stop, or it's a new market share you're going to have, or a new customer acquisition, or customer retention. You can only have 5 things. If you are a leader, this is the first thing you have to analyze how you should jump it, right? So that's the first thing for today, how you should not start AI engagement. The second failure, most of the industry see this failure. Second thing, because we think AI people are smart. All of you think I'm smart, right? No? So that's the second failure. So oh, I am smart. So sorry. So that's the second biggest failure, because when you have an organization and you have an AI department, this department kind of grows in silos because they are respected, they can turn the heels, and they are kind of can do the impossible things, right? So they grow in silos, this AI departments. And when you grow in silos, that's not a good thing, right? So what's the problem happens there? Let's understand this. So most of the time, let's take an example. Let's say you are working for a manufacturing or construction company, and you want to understand who are the people out there in the construction field without a helmet, right? Let's say this is your AI challenge, that you want to recognize those people who are without helmet and probably do something. So AI engagement starts like this: object recognition. Can I understand that's a human with helmet and without helmet? That's what an AI team does in silo. But almost all the time, the AI team does their work. They can easily predict whether you are with a helmet or without a helmet. You can do it within 15 days time. You can do that. But the biggest thing is that project never come live, because you don't have an ecosystem to sustain that. So even if you have an AI model, you have to find out, how can I put it in the field? I need a camera. Which camera I should have? How can I deploy my AI on top of it? How can I, okay, I found it, you are without a helmet. What should I do next? Because my use case is not understanding who is without a helmet. My use case is I want to stop risk. So you started with a wrong use case, right? So that's why your focus was totally on AI. But that's not your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is how I can stop risk. Because if a person dies, it's a big thing, right? So you have never figured out how the AI gonna fit into the bigger ecosystem of your organization. AI is a small part in your bigger ecosystem, right? Here in this project, you have to find out that thing before even jumping to the project. So AI is not going to run in silo, because once you are done, you need that pipeline of ecosystem, right? If you cannot find out, once I'm done with AI, how am I going to deploy it? And do I need to integrate it to the cell phone of the manager? Or do I need to integrate it to, God knows, in my CRM? What should I do after I find out that you were without a helmet, right? So the problem is, who is going to find that? And this is a second failure, how you should not start an AI engagement, or how you should not get into the AI engagement. So you have to find out the complete ecosystem to start with, and you should see AI is a part of that ecosystem, not an isolated thing, right? Let's talk about the third one. Is it getting too much? No? Good? Right. Let's talk to the third one, third problem that industry fails. You know, like again, you can hire a bunch of Python developers or R developers or what it, and write sophisticated AI thing. But you know what? Almost 50% companies fail to put it into the production. So what exactly an AI solution means? AI is a never-ending story. Let's look at this example. Let's say you want to predict the flight cost from Sweden to US or Stockholm to New York in a daily basis. That's your project. And I'm going to give you 1 month of history data to start your project, right? So you did some model and you can predict something. But after 2 months, you have more data sets, right? And you can use that data to train it, but that data may tell you some other stories, new things that you have not evaluated before, right? So AI journey is a never-ending journey. So you can develop it, put it in production, use it, keep on developing, keep on putting it in production, keep on using it. So it goes like a cycle, right? So the failure it happens is most of the company don't know how to take this Python model that the developer has written and put it into the production and support it. And the support doesn't mean that only your model runs in production. Means auditing, right? If somebody gonna come and say your AI is biased, you have to prove it, it's not. How can I use it? So usability, security, production, you have to run it every day maybe, right? The whole pipeline, the cycle, right? And if you have not done your homework, how to survive this AI model once it get out to the production, what is my everyday will look like once that product is in production, you are gone. Your AI will never survive. And I have some real example for this. 3 years before, we put a really sophisticated model into the production, and the company was displaying that in the website, right? So this model was giving some output of predictions, and on the dashboard, the predictions was happening. Everybody was happy. All of a sudden, this thing died without any reason. And now, because I took the developer code, put it just in the production, it looked nice, the output is there, but all of a sudden it's died. In my production, people are watching my website across the world, can see one part of website is down, then somebody has to come and put something else to patch that place, right? And it took us almost a week to find out what's wrong, because somebody actually at the back deleted the infrastructure on which my AI was hosted. And we could not even find out that. So if you don't have proper logging, proper alerting, proper those production environment systems in place, you all from the development background, you understand what a production environment looks like, your AI is not going to survive, right? So that's third way how you should fail if you don't have an end-to-end development, testing and production strategy. You should not jump into an AI project. So you have to find out that whole end-to-end journey of a self-AI model and then jump into doing things. Fourth thing, which is very, very interesting, is that often we see as AI project is driven by business. So the business says, this is the project I have, and this is what I want to find out. I want to find out who are the people going to churn next month. I want to find out where exactly I can find more people, right? So the business always start this discussion. And the business put this on the head of IT to drive this, right? And the IT people who works will have the access to the data sets, and they will use that data sets to create their AI models, right? Clear? Now the whole problem here is IT people may not have the business understanding, right? So in AI, we call it as feature selections. So features are the right set of data that will help to create your model. And a business person only knows what are the right features influence that decision, right? So most of the time, you start a project without even analyzing what are the features you need in your engagement to be successful, right? So for an example, let's say this. Let's say you were a car company and you want to predict in Gavle Central how many car requests I will get so that I will send my cars there, right? So people are going to order cab, right? So I want to predict how many cab will be there at 3 to 4 o'clock, right? Let's say your developer did everything, but they forgot to put days as a special feature. So let's say people behave very differently on Monday, then people behave differently on Friday. And people will behave differently on Sunday, right? So here, days is a very good attribute for me to put it in a feature. But the developer may not be knowing that. Let me put another example, and you all will relate to that. So everybody shop in Amazon or all these websites, right? Maybe Amazon not popular here, but all this e-commerce website. So if I'm the person on the e-commerce website, I am of age group 30 to 35, right? So let's say Amazon, I put in my date of birth and knows I'm exactly 31 years old, right? And you know, you were 60, you were 50, you were 40, knows. And if I want to categorize you, right, so the dynamic pricing will happen, understand what kind of purchase behavior you have. So I can include your age in the model. Like I'm 31, another person is 32, 33. I can include them in the model. And everybody is of different age attributes. But honestly, how a 31 years purchasing behavior is going to change very much than a 35 years purchasing behavior? It's not going to change much. So here, you have to do feature engineering to say, I'm not going to put individual ages. That will bias my model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a range. I know people from 18 to 23 behave differently because they are in university, their purchasing behavior is different. From 23 to 28 maybe differently because they got their first job or traveling, their purchasing behavior is different. 28 to 35 they are getting married or something, or their purchasing behavior. So I'm going to categorize you. Instead of putting your age there, what I'm going to put, age group 1, age group 2, age group 3. This is what feature engineering is. And an engineer, a developer, can never figure it out. So he has to understand the purchase behavior. Think, this is Amazon, so you can do this. But if this is BMW, you are not going to do the age group like that. BMW will say, okay, nobody from 18 to 23 buys me. It's 0, I'll exclude them. So nobody even from, okay, 23 to 30, maybe very less people buy me. So I'll put 23 to 30 as one bucket, 30 to 50 as another bucket, 50 to 70 as another bucket. You see, for different companies, the business is different, the attributes are different, the feature engineering is different. And who is going to tell you that? Not a single person knows everything in this group, right? So we have to do it together, from a business and from a technology. So you have to work together with your IT department and business department and make it closer, right? I'll not take much time, and I will tell you the fifth thing and the last thing, and it's interesting. AI is going totally black box, right? So just few days before, I wrote a model, and the model is to find out which part of the city there is cut trees. The trees has been cut down. That's something I wanted to find out. And what I did is I used a convolutional neural network to find out, which had many hidden layers underneath. For me, I don't care. Even if I'm an AI engineer, what I did, I set my inputs, I set my attributes properly, I let my AI train on that data sets, and AI figured out what the hell is going on underneath, and put the final layer for me. I'm the person only deciding which architecture of AI gonna fit to this. And at the end, I have my output. If I'm not happy, I'm gonna change this parameter a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of change. So everything you see inside is going to be a black box, right? It is a black box, right? Most of the thing you as an engineer even don't know what the heck going inside. So think, if something goes wrong, you got a very strange data sets, or your model start behaving strange, your production failed, how are you gonna fix it? You don't know which part of the problem you are into right now, right? Because you never understood, or you can't understand that thing, because it's out of our computational behavior, right? So if you don't understand the inner side of the story of this AI model and create a black box, it's gonna come back one day for you, right? You're gonna pay for that one day. So the good thing is, you have to understand how the whole flow works. Instead of creating too much black box, you have to make your model transparent. You have to understand what's going in each layer and going out in each layer. Of course, you cannot do it to the extent you should do, because we are human. We don't have that much power to do like computers, right? So you have to go into some depth of AI engagements to understand the model that you're writing, at least what is input, what is output, why this is not selected as a feature, why that is selected as a feature. You have to understand that. We have seen in many cases, people have successfully put things into production. It works fine for a month, and then it starts giving really, really poor result. The data set doesn't change. Maybe a little bit biased data sets comes up, but the way you have do the model selections and stuff is so different based upon the new data sets arrived. Your models start behaving so strange. Now you have to figure out what you have done inside the black box in a level that you can fix it when it dies or doesn't work. So these are the top 5 failures that the industry see, and this is how you can put some thoughts around your daily work to avoid those kind of failures, because right now people are doing AI for real. The days of discussion is gone. proof of concept are in a very advanced stage, and you will land into cases where you will do real AI development work, because this is the time. And if you have not considered all these things, then there is a very less chance that you will be successful. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My
Thank you very
pleasure.
much. And now we're going to open up for some questions. So we have some questions. Anders, you
Yeah, does
come
this
from-
work? All right.
follow.
Not working in here, but on the internet it works, I guess. So that's good. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Very interesting, and I hope you enjoyed that lecture. And also we have some questions on the board here. And my name is Anders, and I work as COO at Votion for the last 6 months. And well, I'm gonna start with a first question for you. And that's what's the next big thing in AI? I think everybody maybe asked that question because there are so many areas. So what's the biggest?
Yeah. I mean, my perspective could be very different from your perspective, because based upon the industries, the discussion differs, right? Just to be honest. If I stay a little agnostic of industry, 2 big things I see is heading ahead. One is conversational AI, where you will talk with systems and perform your work. It will understand what you are talking, right? It will understand your intent, what you want to do. It understands your entities, what exactly you are talking about, right? And it will do stuff based upon your requirement. That's one big thing where the advancement is happening. And second big thing is machine learning and machine automation, right? So how can we use AI to do automated machines which can help us in regular lives? So if you hear Microsoft Build, we also discussed a lot about automated machines in our recent event, and we think that in next 5 years that space gonna develop a lot of things. If you see Amazon's delivery stores or the package stores, they use a lot of automated machines. BMW the same. So the machines may not be in a humanoid form called robots. It may not be robots, but it could be automated machines that AI gonna power up those things. These are the 2 big things I see in the industry coming.
That's two big things. Yeah,
It is.
really good. And also, you talked about how not to implement AI in this discussion. And if you want to start using AI in your work, where should you begin? Is it just you mentioned 5 things or 6 things here, and is that all you should think about, or do you have anything more?
I think the first thing that you should ask before you start any AI engagement is why I will do it and what's the benefit, right? So the why I will do it is basically your emotion, right? So you have to calculate that emotion. You have to understand that emotion. I think Votion knows it, because many times I cross-question them when we discussed a lot of AI cases. Why? What is benefit for you there, right? Not financially. What is your emotion? No, I want to capture 70% of our market share. That's your emotion. Because your CEO has said, this year, we're going to have a monopoly in the market around 70%. So that's on your scorecard as a CEO or something, right? So that is the first question you should know as a leader. Why? And second, what are you going to get out of it? Like, if you can't justify the return on investment, right, when you put it into the real thing, then your thing is not going to work at the end, right? No businessman will put money for that, right? So these are the 2 things basically you should ask before you start. And of course, you need to have somebody who understands AI to write your project. Right?
Yeah.
Before you do that, you need to.
Yeah. And one thing I remember you said, cool is not enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's one good thing too.
Always challenge. Cool is not enough.
Cool is not enough.
Cool is
That's
good,
good. Yeah.
for a presentation like
Yeah.
this, inspiring people. It's not going to fly in production.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. So also, we have another question here. What categorized work will not be replaced by the AI? I mean, that's a huge debate all over. So
I don't want to
do you
get
have
into
any
controversy.
thoughts about that?
My view of looking at AI, of course, is biased, but my way of looking into AI is it gonna challenge a lot of traditional way that we work, but it's gonna create a lot of new opportunity. The question to you is, are you going to step up, change your mind, be advanced to grab those new roles, right? Example, automated transport, right? The trucks, the cabs, getting automated, right? In US, they're testing it. In Sweden too, in Sista. The point is, think about 5-7 years down the line, if they're successful, a lot of drivers will be out of the job, maybe, right? But I don't see it as an out of the job in 100% way. But there will be a lot of job in the transport industry that maybe these people can step up and learn and do it. They are machines. They're gonna fail, right? When they fail, probably the driver is the first person who knows better than anybody else how to control, how to drive, or something. I don't know. But there must be something. If you see above you, if you're losing this one, and this is because AI, then the AI is creating something up there that you need to jump and catch it, right? The question is, can you make that jump before the system getting replaced to the AI or automation or something, right? So they are saying now the AI can write Java coding, right? The AI, the China just released a video that a TV anchor came and spoke in the video, and nobody, and that was an AI anchor. So that was not a real person. So if you see, it challenges all industry, and that's not a real challenge. That's advancement, right? So every industry is getting advanced. Our job is how to take the next. Of course, AI can write the Java code, but AI doesn't know how to analyze satellite image and stuff unless I do it, right? So every advanced thing that you need to jump and catch it, but I'm really not sure what are the jobs it will not replace.
So all the jobs.
It will
Almost, yeah.
it will challenge us to be advanced in all the areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Difficult
really
one.
All right, can we trust it? The AI, can we trust?
Yeah.
Or
The-
do we have any?
Trust is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
First of all, we perfectly understand that AI is not a superhero, right? You gave the data, you told what the data means, and you produce the output, right? So if you're gonna put biased data, you will get biased output, right? So the responsibility lies with us. We are responsible for that, and the government are planning to regulate that industry, or every industry who is going to do AI. But it is the ethics that we need to follow something. And of course, in society, there are good people and bad people, right? People will go in the other way around and do something bad which will hurt somebody, right? Definitely when it comes to trusting AI in enterprise, in businesses like banking and other things, what we always suggest that don't let the AI to take the final step. AI will advise you. You as a human will approve it or deny it. I can give you a couple of examples. AI, let's say, put it into the banking, right? And you are trying to classify a transaction whether it is a fraud or not, right? So you will use AI to understand whether it's a fraud or not. The things that he said fraud, you're going to double check it as a human. But you are not going to make a complaint and initiate a police complaint or something because that AI said you to do that, right? So that automation is far away, right? So we understand we are in an age where we need to take advice from AI, not decisions from AI, right? So we should not think that it is the final decision that AI gives. Even the self-driving car, even if it's a self-driving car, we still have a human sitting in the seat and just observing, right? If something goes wrong, you can have the steering, right? So that's the thing. So it's not about trust, it's about how we adapt in the market, right? So I always think we are in an era where AI is not fully advanced or totally bias free. So we as a human should have the final control or final saying for now, what is right and wrong as a business or as a person.
Yeah, that's really good.
Hmm?
Really good.
Yeah,
Not make the final decision
exactly.
to the AI.
Exactly. So let
Yet.
the human. Yeah.
Yet.
Yes.
Yet. So I think I'm gonna round up with the last question here, and because we have a few here. So the future after AI. You also work with astronomy, or
A little bit in my part time. Yeah.
yeah. So do you see anything there in the stars? Where's the future?
It's a big thing. So, yeah. Let me start with this. Always we confuse AI with future prediction, right? So AI is not always prediction. AI is not going to tell you the future always. So there is a part of AI which gives you knowledge, exploration, right? So one thing is prediction. Like I said, who are the customer going to leave my business, right? Churn analysis, right? That's a prediction. I'm predicting how many people are going to quit, right? But when I give this example, I want to understand where the cut trees are. I'm not predicting anything. I'm understanding, right? That's a knowledge that AI is giving me. So AI is not about prediction. And when it goes to space science or astronomy and those things, I think both are applies. So there is a lot of unknown and there is a lot of possibilities that lies ahead. Understanding which are the exoplanets, right? So which are the planets can sustain human life? Which are the stars dying, right? How a supernova happens. We just found out a black hole a couple of days before. So what's the characteristics of that gaseous stage nearby the black holes? So all these things will be very difficult for humans to do analysis one by one. So that's where the AI will be advanced, understanding things, right? Giving you knowledges. But the other part of the space business is sending satellites, doing good things for the Earth, right? Understand which are the areas have bad gases so that it will affect the asthma people, right? That's a satellite getting the data, analyzing it, right? Or which are the areas the water is disappearing quite quick. That's a satellite business. So that's where our predictions going to help a lot, you know, and take measures on top of it. So space is a huge thing. Astronomy is a huge thing where AI going to be used really big way.
Yeah.
The people are already doing that.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we would like to thank you very much for being
My
here,
pleasure.
Ashok. And we have a special handsmith key, because think tank is the key to success. So we have a blacksmith in southern Hälsingland with handmade, and they're numbered, and it's special for special people. And you are special.
I'm honored.
So
Thank you.
please,
Thank you.
thank you very much for the
My pleasure.
And some flower here from a flower girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you very much. Och med det så är det fritt fram och